Capricorn, I'm continuing with the universe for future energies in reverse. I have a cat here that's joined the party, so bear with me. She'll be down in just a moment. Luna is here, and this is the Three of Wands in reverse as well. So Capricorn, it's like you've been trying to get something going, like following a path on something, really hustling hard towards something, taking risks. You're like, when is this going to pay off? Okay, I think we should clarify some more about this. Ooh, bottom of the deck is the Death card. So we do have, if you feel energetically, Capricorn, right now that there is like transition happening and change, momentum, yeah, I can see that happening, but something is struggling to get off the ground for you, Capricorn. You're struggling just to make something solid, and you're waiting for something to come in, but something you thought you had like the golden touch and the Midas touch on something and didn't turn out to be, I'm sensing. Okay, let's kind of take this back row by row and let's see what's been going on. The Magician and Judgment in reverse, the last judgment they have in this deck. This is the Hermetic Tarot, and the Hermetic Tarot, exactly. It has like a lot of rich symbology and lots of astrology on this too, so it's actually really helpful for me reading these cards to have that, all the symbology. But anyways, this to me is like meeting somebody, or, you know, being introduced to somebody, or just a chance connection where you bumped into somebody. Could have been a stranger, it could have been somebody that you knew or was coordinated, like a meeting, or but it changed everything. It gave you like this new perspective. I feel like the person that you were linked with was like an expert in their field. They had like maybe 20 years experience, knew exactly what they were doing, and you bumped into them or something happened and they were able to like pull you out of something pretty deep and despairing for some. Five of Cups in reverse, Lord of loss and pleasure, but it's reversed. So the sense of harmony is kind of being restored. So I think whatever that in that meeting with somebody who was, I think, some sort of an expert, a pro, a master, or just somebody who was completely transformative, Scorpionic, Plutonian in nature, and could be like a therapist or something, I don't know, but it's a really strong energy coming through about something some of you guys may have met. Pluto is in Capricorn, your home sign, about to go retrograde at 26 degrees of Capricorn. That is going to last for months, that retrograde period, where Pluto will be more or less at 26 degrees of Capricorn. Pluto moves really slowly. It's really transformative energy. It rules judgment. So let's see. Five of Cups is telling me, and we're going to clear it up, that something or somebody you met has been nearly able to like pull you out of some sort of a funk that you've been in, or even maybe despair. Lord of despair and cruelty, the Nine of Swords in reverse. So for April, you feel bad that, for some of you, you feel bad that you've been like on your hustle and like you haven't really been able to dedicate much time to anything else or focus energy, efforts towards anybody or anything else in your life but your hustle and then like you have a real motivation for something, Capricorn, but it doesn't seem to be paying off for you the way it should be in your eyes. If you're putting so much focus and like determined like efforts into it, why is it not paying off for you, Capricorn? Because along the way, people seem to be getting rubbed up the wrong way by you, if I'm reading this right, or you're at least worried about the perception of yourself in others' eyes. So whether or not that's you bringing that on, or it's just how people are picking up, some people are getting rubbed up the wrong way. April, we have the Fool card. So that is like some sort of a eagerness to take a chance, optimistic about a gamble paying off, I guess. We'll clarify that. Then coming down to the end of April going into May. But like I said, these readings are fluid. I find they find us, Capricorn. So maybe this will just sound like something that could have been even coming up presently for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the future. Take what resonates for all of these energies and leave the rest. So Nine of Pentacles, the Universe, and the Three of Wands, all in reverse. So a lot of reversals in your reading today. This is talking to me about something that had been going really stably for a while and building at a really nice pace. could be 9 months of a pace, 9 years. It could have been just like a significant gestation period I'm seeing. And all of us, not all of a sudden, but you're starting to see, rather not suddenly, sorry, more piece by piece, I'm feeling like you're starting to see like, oh, this part isn't really working out. Oh, it looks like this person is backing out. Something like that energy. And there's somebody or something was a key to whatever you'd been working on for this period of time, success. You might feel like there's hesitancy around you to get something going off the ground. Something had seemed like a sure thing for a period of time for you, for a longer period of time for you, Capricorn, and you're some slowly, some maybe more rapidly, but I'm for the most part seeing like slowly there maybe had been some sort of a denial for you, Capricorn, some of you, that like this was going to work out, you thought, but then as a matter of how things went, you started to sort of see that maybe this isn't going to go as how I had hoped it would. Let's look at these cards together, and I'm going to pull an oracle, ground this off, this reading down a little bit, and then we're going to see what else is coming up to clarify. But I dropped something. Why don't you have a look at these cards in the meantime, Capricorn? I've dropped one of yours. And it was Judgment reversed. Okay, let's see what's coming up on this oracle now for Capricorn. So this is the Kuan Yin, Chinese goddess of compassion. This is going to be taken as a message now from Capricorn's highest self to them. Okay, Capricorn. I've got Spin the Silken Thread Divine, and that is number 30, if that number is significant for any of the Capricorns watching today in particular. Number 30, Spin the Silk Thread Divine, and I'm going to read a bit about that from this oracle and see if we can gain anything else from this. In creating precious silks, there is a sorting process, sifting out that which is broken to find what is more precious and pure. You are commencing a new cycle, beloved, and it is time to allow which is more precious and pure, that which you wish to take with you into the future to continue, and release that which does not align with your true heart. Sometimes we need to help ourselves access new cycle by releasing vows from this or other lifetimes, releasing old emotional patterns, and calling in the wisdom and talents from past lifetimes. You are guided to accept this healing now. So it's talking kind of like, even with this Judgment card, it's saying your past is calling out to you. It is calling out to be cleared and be released, for the beauty and the power of the past to be claimed in the present moment, woven together like a precious rare silk. All the experiences, mistakes, adventures, and successes of your past and in this life and in other lifetimes have given your soul plenty of material from which to draw its wisdom, like fine silk threads being woven into a beautiful fabric. It had to grow in awareness and light, capacity and love in order to be where it is now. Okay, that's very like Judgment in reverse energy for me. And even you, the Magician, your expertise from other lifetimes even. So this could be even just beyond just going into looking at March, Capricorn. This could have been the past that this is referring to, past life, where you are drawing in the mastery and experience and skills from past lifetimes, Judgment in reverse. And you know what? This is a Scorpio card too, Mars in Scorpio. It is that like Plutonian Scorpionic energy of transformation and rebirth. So healing was indicated. Death card, the card for Scorpio at the bottom of the deck. Maybe you are dealing with a Scorpio who is an extremely transformative agent in your life, you may feel. So we do have that rebirth energy. It looks like some of you are dealing with some karmic issues in life at the moment too. Let's take this back, and I'm going to clear up for the Capricorns. I'm going to clear up the first row here from the past energies. The Magician, Last Judgment, Judgment. We've got 5 of Cups in reverse. What have we got? In reverse here, Capricorn, we have got the Moon in reverse. Oh, wow. Cycles, fears, being afraid, and somebody or something was a real source of an agent for change for you recently, but it was like very confronting in a way. Like Dark Night of the Soul is Plutonian for me, but the Moon card is like, it's the card for Pisces, so like diving deep to kind of like even things that we try not to think about, but when we're aware that there's things that we just don't really like to think about, the Pisces Moon card in reverse energy is like, no, go there, see what that is, bring it to the surface. It's timing of the Moon card to look at that. So Capricorn, we've got a Capricorn rising, I should say. We've got a new moon in Aries. We do have a new moon in Aries on the 11th of April, and that's happening in your 4th house of home and family, living situation. So that could present an opportunity in your in your particular birth chart, Capricorn rising, to set intentions and goals and start sowing seeds of that you wish to see blossom and develop in the realm of home and living situation. This could look like looking for a new apartment. This could look like making a plan as to how you save up and budget your rent each week or month, or however you do that. It could look like just setting intentions around carving out like time to do some household work, or like setting intentions around like bonding with family and, you know, family time, quality time, things like that. So that's kind of all happening. You know, meanwhile though, Capricorn rising, you've had a nice Venus in Aries transit through the 4th home of living and situation, all of that from late March to mid-April. That could have been kind of nice time to be at home, and adding to being at home, if you're feeling like you're at home a lot, the Venus transit through that house might have been a bit more helpful. But other than that, I'm seeing with the Moon card coming up out in reverse, like there are deeper issues at play here, and they are on kind of in the undercurrent of things, almost being asked to be looked at, to be healed. There is healing going on. 5 of Cups can talk about healing through grief too. So if that is coming up for some of you, that is possible that the healing is kind of underway now, and you're kind of becoming to a place of acceptance and able to deal with the grief when it comes up and kind of greets you sporadically sometimes, as grief does. The Moon card in reverse. What else is coming through to clarify? Just one more card. Three of Pentacles. So if the cycle is ready, ruler of flux and reflux, if the flux is ready to extend and collaborate and kind of even maybe reach out and start recouping or regrouping and recuperating from whatever sense of grief you're getting over or loss you're getting over, that's a nice cycle and window for that. If the time is right to reach out and exchange an olive branch, that could be possible too. If something happened in your last field of like where you were working or the team that you were part of, that you lost out on something, or you have a real sense of lingering regret about things you didn't do, I'm thinking maybe things that you did do, and maybe things that you did do that you are really not proud of at work or even with friends, or something's coming up where, Capricorn, you're getting a chance to maybe say like, I want to change that. I don't want to repeat that mistake again, and I want to grow from that. That's what I'm sort of seeing, like that's a timing. But first it has to be looked at. First you have to actually be willing to see it. Judgment in reverse does talk about fears of not acting sometimes. Judgment can talk about things that we're not proud of, that we're getting a chance to kind of like evolve from and, you know, really like be reborn again again from, and it kind of can present itself at a time where we have done the work, kind of done work on ourselves to like acknowledge that our and take some maybe sense of ownership for behaviors. Magician and the Moon card both in reverse, maybe some behaviors that were deceitful, Capricorn, that could have been coming up for you, that you're ready to move past that and you feel like you're ready to let go and move on in a healthier way, and like open your heart back up, and hopefully that people can come together again in a way. Let's have a look at the Nine of Swords in reverse, the Six of Wands in reverse, and the Fool card for April. So yeah, like, you know what, like you're something you're really, really motivated around, and you're hoping, some of you are hoping for like all of this hard work and effort you've been working on yourself to pay off, and for people to see it and them almost to say like, oh, forget about the past, we're moving forward now. Maybe it won't be as easy as that, but that's at least what you're hoping for. I'm seeing Capricorn. Let's go for April. Creative projects are looking really good for April then for you, Capricorn rising too, with the Mars and Gemini transit through your 5th house of joy. Oh, we have Capricorn energy with the Devil card coming up, but also in reverse. And then we've got the King of Swords, the card in reverse, which is actually funny. It is also has, I see a similar symbol here with this pentagram symbol here on it, the King of Swords depiction's head too. So that's because of the Saturnian influence around the King of Swords. I read this for Aquarius. So, okay. Wow, dealing with an Aquarius, if that is the case, Capricorn, you guys really are not on the same page, and you're thinking that you know that you can almost hang on in there together and like take this new step in life, and like a kind of a leap of faith kind of a thing, but things are, you're just really not on the same page. You both, if you're dealing with an Aquarius Capricorn or another Capricorn, you're really like triggering each other. If that's not what this is, we do see some sort of a lifting of an easing of like a restriction here with this energy. Both cards can be very restrictive, very binding, very oppressive even, Devil card. Things that can control us and things that we lose our agency with can be represented with the Devil card energy. And yeah, the King of Swords is totally rigid, like he's not really wanting to bend or falter, but when they reverse we get some liberation and some movement on both, unshackling and loosening. So that's not bad, that's nice, that energy is welcome. Strength card in the bottom of the deck in reverse. Dominance also, Capricorn, is suggested here when strength reverses, or fortitude they have it called in this deck, the Hermetic Tarot. It's the dominance. It's so there is a sense of like needing maybe to surrender and let go a bit of control issues that you're facing at the moment, so that, you know, some of you then really might be resisting. Something is presenting itself, the Foolish Man, the Spirit of Ether, and this something is presenting itself to you like quite clearly now, and it's not totally rational. And that's what the King of Swords, who is so rational in reverse, loses a little bit of its rationale. That doesn't mean that it's foolish or crazy. It means that it's relying on something that isn't logic or rational. It's spirit of ether, something that's just like maybe feels a bit more soulful, or just maybe it feels a bit more intuitive or spirit-led, guided. The Sun, it's something is becoming clear, but there's a block in you taking this chance that you want to take because things haven't been working out for you in a material sense, Capricorn, even in just with work, with personal projects. You kind of want to, for some of you are like, I'm ready to be an entrepreneur myself, and that's not kind of taking off, I see, for some the way it would like to. But if you take a load off in whatever way that means to you, something that feels that you could free yourself up. Obviously there seems like there's external circumstances around that as to why things are a little bit more restrictive feeling. But there does seem to be a window now in April opening, and I could be wrong, but I sense that the Mars and Gemini transit through Capricorn rising's fifth house of hobbies and joy, or Capricorn Sun solar house of fifth house of hobbies and joy, where, you know, the sun loves to be. It's the house of joy. So what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? That could be something to kind of loosen things up, the bonds and ties you feel for the month of April. Let's look at the final row and close out this reading for Capricorn with what's coming up towards the end of April. Six of Pentacles, I'll put this back in for the moment, but some sort of a hopefully harmony then, balance restored, maybe kind of a feeling, but coming up for the end of April, going into May for Capricorn now. I've got the Hierophant in reverse. And I've got the Empress, okay? So if you're dealing with a Taurus Capricorn, the energy that is coming up for them is that, what could I say about dealing with a Taurus in relation to this? It could have been a Taurus that you were dealing with that you kind of feel like separated from you, and there was a huge question about differences of what was the right thing for you both. Differences about, you know, what was the right thing basically, or what was the most conforming thing to do, what was the expected thing to do. A question of value and what self-worth was in the relationship is coming up for me around this if you're dealing with the Taurus too. And in a really big way, it was like very signaling like a massive transformation, or like this wasn't just something that was unnoticeable if you're dealing with the Taurus. I think it was pretty strong. If you're just feeling like Capricorn that what your attempts are not kind of going as you had wanted, and they're not like taking off and being brought to completion successfully, you feel like you can't get anything done, you feel like when it is done you're not happy with it, it's just as you see, maybe feel intuitively, it's just not going to come to create or come to grow, and you're sort of starting to feel like a different approach is needed. It's just something that's a bit more outside of the box, Capricorn. That's all it is. Think a little outside the box. Don't be afraid to ask for assistance from people that are like mentors, the Hierophant in reverse, but at the same time don't get kind of, this can be a charlatan, and you know, like kind of like a snake oil salesman, like kind of energy. Just watch out for that towards the end of the month, Capricorn. Ultimately, I don't think that you're going to settle for anything less than you deserve. You'll keep plugging away at it until it's presentable enough. I do see this Empress card is number 3 as well numerically. So the 3 of Wands, although it's reversed, this is not bad energy. It just means, and 3 is all about growth and creation and making something more, something that came from 2 people, it became a third or something like that. But it's all about creation. And while it's blocked here, it's just because I think it's the reason for some of the blocks, Capricorn, is selfishness, perhaps on your part, or it's just like a need to feel like I need to do everything alone. Opening up to kind of like asking for help and getting assistance where needed could be really beneficial for you. The Empress though is signaling ultimately growth from this, and at the bottom, as the last card we've pulled, and at the bottom of the deck I have the Chariot, which is a card 7, progression, magic, moving things on, bringing things forward, things progressing and being nurtured enough to be brought to the next step. If you're dealing with a Cancer Capricorn, that relationship is extremely nurturing for both parties, and some of you feel like you're really ready to take things to the next level with the Cancer in your life. There is some sort of an issue of breaking the mold together, breaking barriers together, pushing forward, but at the same time like a very grounded and somewhat stable and more conventional foundation is there too. So it's a nicely balanced relationship dealing with the Cancer. Capricorn, that is going to be your reading for now for April 2021 from me. I will be back again to do something for love and relationships in a week's time, just for your sign, which will be just more focused on that topic. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on your next one. I will speak to you soon, and good luck this month, Capricorn.